The academic procession is approaching with another Swaram party, playing on the instruments in the front, followed by the registrar, carrying the insignia of the institution, followed by the dean, sponsored research, on the right, carrying the national flag, and dean planning and development on the left, who in turn will be followed by the vice chancellor. The guests will be accompanied by the chancellor, followed by the members of the board of management, all deans and other members of the academic council, and lastly, the PhD graduates, and all of them move towards the convocation hall. Thank you, everyone. A very good morning, everyone. I, on behalf of the Shastra Management, welcome you all to the 36th Convocation. We start today's program with invocation, and I call upon stage Kumari J. Ananya, a second-year BCom LLB student for the same. May I request all of you to kindly rise for the invocation.
நீராறும் கடலுடுத்த நிலமடந்த கெழிலொழுகும் சீராறும் வதனமென திகழ்பரத கண்டமெது தெக்கணமும் மதிசிறந்த திராவிடனல் திருநாடும் தக்க சிறு பெருநுதலும் தரிதனலும் திலகமுமே அத்திலக வாசனை போல் அனைத்துலகும் இன்பமுற எத்திசையும் புகழ் மணக்க இருந்த பெரும் தமிழனங்கே தமிழனங்கே உன் சீரிலமை திறம்பியந்து செயல் மறந்து வாழ்த்துதுமே 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 मैत्रीं भजत अखिल हृजयत्रीं मैत्रीं भजत अखिल हृजयत्रीं आत्मवधेव परानपि पश्यत आत्मवधेव परानपि पश्यत युद्धं त्यजत स्पर्धां त्यजत युद्धं त्यजत स्पर्धां त्यजत त्यजत परेष्वक्रममाक्रमणं त्यजत परेष्वक्रममाक्रमणं मैत्रीं भजत अखिल हृजयत्रीं मैत्रीं भजत अखिल हृजयत्रीं जननी पृथ्वी कामधुकास्ते जननी पृथ्वी कामधुकास्ते जनको देवः सकल दयाळो जनको देवः सकल दयाळो धाम्य ददात्त धयत्वं जनता धाम्य ददात्त धयत्वं जनता श्रेयो भूयात् सकल जनानां श्रेयो भूयात् सकल जनानां श्रेयो भूयात् सकल जनानां श्रेयो भूयात् सकल जनानां श्रेयो भूयात् सकल जनाना।
Thank you, everyone. I now request our Honorable Vice Chancellor, Dr. S. Vaidya Subramaniam, to welcome the August gathering.
Most revered Union Minister for Education, Skill Development and Entrepreneurship, Shri Dharmendra Pradhan ji, Union Minister of State for Fisheries, Animal Husbandry and Dairying and Information and Broadcasting, Shri L. Murugan ji, revered Chancellor, members of the board, Professor Krishnaswamy Alladi, Shri Chamu Krishna Shastri ji, my faculty colleagues, proud graduates and the prouder parents, special invitees, friends from the print and electronic media. Ladies and gentlemen, on behalf of the district of Thanjavur, on behalf of the Board of Management of Shastra, the faculty, the staff and students, and on my personal behalf, I welcome all of you for this 36th convocation, which for a variety of reasons is special. And I would want to just quickly highlight the top 5 special varieties, and all of them first class. This is the first convocation after the pandemic, face to face with the convocation orator here. The first convocation of the Amrit Kaal quarter of India's march towards its 100th year of Indian independence. The first convocation that will see the first batch of students tasting certain parts of NEP 2020 when it was launched in the year 2020. The first convocation where we will have the Union Minister of Education at Shastra as the convocation narrator. He is the one who is leading a platoon of institutions and individuals in converting this NEP 2020 into a working reality. And lastly, this is the first convocation for Shastra after, in its 4th cycle of accreditation by NAC, it got 3.76 and graded as A++. So a series of first makes this a special convocation. And this can happen in a first-class institution. And I will assure in the immediate presence of the Minister of Education that this first-class institution is moving ahead to be a world-class as well. Because we took a conscious decision that we will establish this institution. The founders said that we will establish this institution in a rural village in Thanjavur district and still provide first-class, progressing towards world-class education to all the learners across the country and globe. And there are many reasons that I very proudly say that this is a first-class institution. But I have very limited time. And what happened only in the last academic year is what I can share for the purpose of this welcome address and the quick annual report. That this last academic year has been a series of progresses. Despite the pandemic, we did achieve a lot of progress thanks to the cooperation and support of students, teachers, funding agencies, industry partners, and all stakeholders who helped the institution in overcoming the stresses of the pandemic. The research and development in Shastra acquired very new dimensions. And in this academic year alone, 47 new projects were funded for a total outlay of rupees 12.95 crores funded by various funding agencies like DST, Ayush, DBT, DRDO, and also private organizations like TCS, Breaks India. The School of Computing and School of Electrical Engineering started the first of its type program, which is a landmark program, MTech VLSI. After the Prime Minister announced the PLI scheme for the semiconductor manufacturing industry, Tata Electronics and Shastra came together to start a 1+1 year MTech program with 2 universities collaborating in Taiwan, Yangtze and Asia University. The first year, the students spent their time here, coursework and lab work. The second year, they have already left. The first batch of 24 students left last week, landed in Taiwan to complete semester coursework and also hands-on experience in the fab industry in Taiwan to come back to India again to be a part of India's march in the semiconductor manufacturing industry. So far, the Shastra has published over 11,000 Scopus Index publications and touching an H index of 100. The law school is emerging to be one of the premier law schools in the country. Top 2% in the field of their own departments of research have been identified by Stanford University in the research report released by Elsevier. That is a true mark of excellence on the quality of publications, in which 12 of our faculty members figured in this top 2%. We had one patent that was granted in this academic year. Total academic patents granted was 14 for Shastra University. Successful placements has been very successful. Over 300 companies recruiting over 4,000 students as we speak today, and that's been the success of our students. The Shastra Ramanujan Award has also registered tremendous importance in the global mathematics arena. It is now rated to be amongst the top 5 awards in the world, with the recent Fields medalists, both of them were Shastra Ramanujan awardees in 2014 and 2017. Shastra also conferred the National Science Day Awards, the Shastra G.N. Ramachandran Award, the Shastra C.N.R. Rao Award, and the Shastra Obaid Siddiqui Award. The integrated academic block that we are sitting was also inaugurated during this academic year, along with the new hostel block. Both of them combined cost of construction was 150 crores. Estimated outlay was 8 lakh square feet, and that was inaugurated by Mr. T.V. Narendra, the chairman and managing director of Tata Steel. Besides this, many of the faculty received awards. James Bhaskar Das receiving the award from the Department of Defense for his work in electronics engineering. Dr. Swaminathan receiving the Professor C.N.R. Rao Award for his contributions to nanoscience instituted by the government of Karnataka. Besides this, the social responsibility of Shastra, its interface with the society, which we saw during the time of the COVID, has been remarkable and outstanding. And this is what makes this institution, with a built-up area of 3 lakh square feet, with over 13,000 students and 1,500 faculty and staff, with 142 ongoing projects at an estimated outlay of 113 crores, with 11,000 publications, with various TBAs, 3 TBAs supported by various funding agencies, 77 patents granted, and 77 patents published and 14 patents granted, 22 interdisciplinary research centers, 14 of them FIST supported departments, and 18 industry sponsored labs, with more than 30,000 square feet of incubation space, with 100 teraflop high performance computing cluster, and a collaborative environment, 80 MOUs with national and international partners, and also a mentoring institution under the Margadarshan and Margadarshak schemes, and access to over 2 lakh e-resources, vibrant student community through its clubs, maximum number of legal aid camps conducted by a law school in India, partner in various national mission projects, and a very strong social interface mechanism. All of this put together makes Shastra really a first-class institution. And that is why, ladies and gentlemen, this capture of what we have done in the last 1 year alone is just symbolic of the progress that the institution has made from 1984 up to what we are. We have completed 38 years of the institution, and we are craving for more achievement. And we are aligned perfectly with the various announcements, policy decisions of the government, the most important one being NEP 2020. And our assurance and alignment to this NEP 2020 has been unconditional. And also our contributions to the Indian knowledge system is also phenomenal. At this point of time, I would like to record that Shastra is going to engage in a mission mode in a project where we are going to translate 75 course-related reading material in Tamil. That way we can facilitate the higher education in the native language, the mother tongue Tamil in the state of Tamil Nadu. And this is a commitment in the next 1 year that we'll be able to translate this. And this is an important task that we have on hand. And besides this, we assure in the presence of the Union Minister for Education that Shastra is a university that is committed to nation building, and we will always uphold the spirit of nation building in making the Atmanirbhar the true reality. And our contribution through various stakeholders is definitely a 100% commitment, making the Atmanirbhar Bharat policy of our Honorable Prime Minister, that vision becoming a reality. With this background, I welcome the Honorable Union Minister for Education, the Union Minister for State, and all other distinguished members in the audience to this 36th convocation. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. I now request our Chancellor, Professor R. Sethuraman, to felicitate our dignitaries, starting with Shri Dharmendra Pradhan ji, Shri L. Murugan, Professor Krishnaswamy Alladi, Shri Chamu Krishna Shastri, thank you so much, sirs. It's our honor. I now request our Chancellor to declare the convocation open.
The 36th convocation has been called to confer PhD, MTech, MCA, MCOM, MSc, MBA, MOptics, BTech, BSc, BBA, BCA, BCom, BCom CA, BCom, BFSI, BOpt, Law and Education degrees on the candidates who in the examination held in July 2022 by Shastra University for which the purpose has been certified to be worthy of the same. Now I request the orator to deliver the address.
Ladies and gentlemen, it's my honor and privilege to request Shri Dharmendra Pradhan, Union Minister of Education, Skill Development and Entrepreneurship, Government of India, to deliver the convocation address. Please, sir.
My colleague in Union Cabinet, the popular leader of Tamil Nadu, Mr. L. Murugan, Union Minister of States, Fisheries and Information and Broadcasting Department, Chancellor of Shastra University, Professor Seturamanji, Vice Chancellor of University, Dr. S. Vaidya Subramanyam ji, Registrar of this university, Dr. R. Chandramouli ji, Dean Planning and Development, Dr. S. Swaminathan ji, distinguished guests receiving honorary doctorates, Professor Krishnaswamy Alladi ji and Shri Chamu Krishna Shastri ji, faculty members, staffs, parents and my dear students, all friends from media, Vanakkam. Friends, convocation is a landmark event in life of a student. It marks end of one phase and beginning of another. It's my privilege as Education Minister, as my dear friend Vice Chancellor said, after COVID-19 pandemic, this is the first physical convocation by this global institution. And let me candidly admit I'm coming to a private university, endowment run university for the first time. Usually I am little bit reluctant to go to a private university, but with persuasion of Setu Ramanji and Vaidya Subramanyam ji, I came here. I think I did a good thing. I am happy. I congratulations to each one of you on your graduation today. Friends, Shastra has its own history also. Running a family is a challenge today. Running an institution for 38 years and organizing convocation for 36th year. I'm told this is the 36th convocation. Congratulations to Shastra University officials, the patrons, the promoters, especially Setu Ramanji. Your tireless effort as a philanthropist, as a responsible citizen of this civilization. I spent last 2 hours in this campus with a puja in Ganesh temple and begin this convocation with receiving the Saraswati symbol Bina. Shastra justifies its name. Samuga Arts, Science, Technology and Research Academy. I am very happy to know Tirumalai Samudram is a small village. If you have determination, if you have willpower, the entire world will come to you, in front of you. Shastra has proven since last 4 decades, Shastra has proven this thing in the area of knowledge and education. And it's a matter of pride. Since last for 20 years, we can say 21 years, from 2001, Shastra is a first deemed to be university in the state of Tamil Nadu, and with the recommendation of NEP, very soon it will be a full-fledged university. The tag of deemed to be university will be no more. And I am happy. The Shastra has come up with 3 campuses, one in this same district, and another is coming up at Chennai. And with more programs and courses in area of humanities and liberal arts. Friends, science, technology, innovations are important for a living society. Human studies, liberal arts, culture, dance, music, all are equally important. I think for thousands of years, Tanjavur is famous for all these things in this civilization. And I am again reaffirming my commitment on this university's motto: think merit and think transparently. Today, being the education minister of country, I can proudly say I have not recommended anybody to vice chancellor to get admitted. That shows your transparency, shows your merit character. Because today, we political leaders think if we get admitted, some of our constituents' kids in a prestigious university or institution, that is the call of the democracy. That is the new trend of democracy. But you stood solid, you stood firm on your belief, merit and transparency. and you prove yourself as a innovator, as a pioneer of this innovative method of education and knowledge imparting. Friends, we are in a very prestigious place. As I said, whoever knows little bit about this Indian civilization, the knowledge journey, the study, the academics, the repository will not complete without knowing Tamil Nadu, without knowing Tamil language, without knowing about Tanjavur. Tanjavur is the witness of civilizational journey. Just imagine, today there is IIT Madras, today there is Presidency College, today there is Shastra University. But in 1200 years ago, when craftsmen of this glorious state built Meenakshi temple, the temple at Tanjavur, the southern pattern temple structure of India, is one of the wonders. Our people who are not so articulate in history writing like Westerners. Otherwise, the temple architect, just see, if I cite, I belong to state of Odisha. Lot of similarities are there between Odisha's Kalingan temple architect and Tamil temple architect. In those days, there was no cement. There is no department of architect. There is no department of engineering. There is no department of civil engineering. There is no department of structural engineering. But by interlocking the stones, carving the beautiful arts, our ancestor built these magnificent architectural monuments in the seashore. I'm emphasizing the seashore. That means lot of chemical technology knowledge were there in those days also. So this is the land where we produce. This is a culture of production of fertile human beings. Tamil Nadu is known for its fertile land. Tamil Nadu is in a way the rice bowl of the country. Tamil Nadu germinate lot of biodiversity. Tamil Nadu also germinate lot of knowledge diversity in area of art, in area of music, in area of culture, in area of engineering, in area of science, in area of innovation. I am fortunate to be part of this knowledge journey, and you all are. I am no more a student, but I learned a lot of things today by roaming around the laboratories. I know a lot of new things. I will tell in the latter part of my speech what as a student I learned today, but I am little bit envious to my young friends. Because you are fortunate. You are fortunate to the part of this knowledge journey in Tamil Nadu. You are fortunate to the part of this knowledge journey in Tanjavur. And you are fortunate to be part of this knowledge journey in Shastra University with able guidance of your faculty and teachers. Friends, what is the meaning of education? What is the meaning of knowledge? How do we as a social being, are we individuals? Are we all individuals? Are we only focus about our own career, about own parents? I know a lot of you will after some time get into your career. First thing you will do, you will go away from your mothers. Because you will say, my kid will be study in a different place. They will not get proper study in the village. All are not like Mr. Seturamanji. You will all not be staying in your home. You will go to a separate place to avoid the guidance of your mother for your wife. This is the reality. But simultaneously, we all are social beings. We all are living creature. We all have our responsibility to society. Today, we cannot live in isolation. We can't think about our Tanjavur is good, our Tamil Nadu is okay, our India is perfect, then we will be living in peace and quietly. No, it's no more. I can cite one example. We are the net energy importer. There is a dispute somewhere in the Europe between Ukraine and Russia. The energy price shoot up, it affects our day-to-day spending. We are living in a small global village. We have to prepare ourselves to take care of the global challenges also. No more our local challenge is aligned to the global challenge. No more global impacts are not coming to our area, not coming to our country, not coming to our state. If this is the background, friends, we have just completed 75 years of our independence from British rule. This year, 15 August was celebrated as Amrit Mahotsav. Mid of the Amrit Mahotsav, up to the next 23rd, 15 August, we'll celebrate this Mahotsav. But this year, we complete 75th year of independence. This important period. Friends, what is the role of India? What India can do for society? What India can do for humanity? India has a contribution in different area to the civilization. From this country, eminent scholar like Charaka, Susruta, Aryabhatta, Barahamihira, Bhaskaracharya, Brahmagupta, Chanakya, Madhavacharya, Panini, Patanjali, Nagarjuna, Gautama, Pingala, Shankaradeva, Maitri, Gargi, Tiruvalluvar, all such knowledgeous persons who all have contributed not only to this country, their preaching, their research, their writings, all has contributed to the global knowledge system. We are inheriting such a great civilization in the area of engineering, area of technology, area of healthcare. Today in this corona period, the Indian knowledge-based Siddha treatment process has proven this is the way. Our Indian medicine has proven. I asked a gentleman of Indian origin who is a head of a global company, is owning a global company. By inquiring his health, I asked, how do you do in these days, in those days? He said, I start with my day with taking a ball of turmeric and a black coffee. Why do you take turmeric? Because COVID is there. Friends, Indian food habit, Indian medicines, Indian innovations. And today, with addition of yoga as an international concept, you go to any part of world, to any public park in the world, in any country, you will find 5 persons are there, they are practicing yoga. That means the Indian knowledge system has enhanced its positive impact in all parts of the globe. That is the contribution of India's knowledge system to the global civilization. And this role is much more today with this challenging time. Because in India, we have a samskar, we believe entire planet is our family. That's why we have recited Vasudhaiva Kutumbakam. We feel everybody is part of my kutumba, my family. Friends, with this background, Government of India has, as mentioned by my friend Vice Chancellor, National Education Policy has started rolling out by institutions like Shastra University, and you all are torch bearer of National Education Policy from 2020 onward. What is the basic feature of this NEP? What does this NEP justify? What does NEP prioritize as a philosophy? For me, NEP is not a document of 60 pages. NEP is a roadmap to create global citizen in the 21st century. It's a philosophical document. I have read that document for several times. Every time I go through that document, I find new things. That document says the teaching methodology, the learning outcome, the entire education system will be based on local language, on the mother tongue. So Prime Minister said, all Indian language are national language. Tamil language is the national language. Telugu language is the national language. Marathi, Bengali, Punjabi, Hindi, Odia, Ahamiya, Kannada, Malayali, all are national language. The boy or girl will come out with successful results when? If we will understand the thing properly. How he will or she will understand the thing properly? If he will have its clarity of the complex subject. How she or he will have a clarity on the complex subject? If she or he will understand in his mother tongue, in her mother tongue. The language he is familiar. The day he uttered the first sentence in the language. The day he listened the first word in the local language. If he or she is able to continue that journey up to a level when we will come to schools, if you will write in the same language, if you will read in the same language, then the critical thinking of the human being will emerge. I am not averse of any language. To knowing English is not bad thing. Knowing any other language is not bad thing. But knowing its own language is important thing. If I say the single most important feature of NEP is Bharatiya Bhasha, own language, local language. So, Government of India is recognizing all language as national language. NEP is promoting that. NEP is giving emphasis on employability. Our education system has created degree holder. Our education system has divided. There is a great missing link between skill and education. Person is educated, but he is not skilled. After your campus, you are again going to management training. What is the necessity of management training? If your academics, your teaching, your learning is so apt, you will directly go to the floor, you will directly go to the office, you will directly go to the market, you will do your profession. NEP is giving a collaborative approach of education and skilling. We are teaching, and rightly Prime Minister in 15 August speech said, now time has come, we have to give emphasis on innovation. How innovation will be there? If research will be there. Research and innovation. You see, these are the two different words in the English language, but in Indian language, there is one language. This is Anusandhan. I saw that in your university building also. Anusandhan. So Prime Minister rightly said, Jai Anusandhan. This is the feature of national education policy. Language, skilling, innovation, research, employability, and to create global citizenship, that mindset, sustainability, climate resilience, these are the part of NEP. Friends, you all are fortunate to be part of this NEP process. From 2020 onward, those who have passed, they all are fortunate because You are the product of NEP. Thus today, as I said, today you are entering to a important phase of your life. Everybody, when go to a important phase, if you are going to a temple, going to an auspicious place, or doing some anushthan in our own home, rituals in our home, we place in front of a belief, object of belief. It may be a God, it may be a Jesus Christ, it may be Allah, it may be a tree, it may be a object. But we place something. Henceforth, I'll do this thing. Friends, this society has a great expectation from all of you. On this Convocation day, your time of learning has over. Now your time of practice has started. You have completed your education journey. Now your applied education phase will come. You'll be more, every day you will learn. That doesn't mean that studentship has ceased. Studentship will continue. One phase is over, another phase you are entering. You are entering the applied education part. You have to place something. As I said, lot of expectations are there from you, from society. If I mention, in our Indian rituals, when you getting married, in front of that Yajna Kunda with your wife, both of you are pledging, and you are pledging 7 things, Saptapadi. Now you are entering in a new life. You have to do Saptapadi. You have to, as I am very impressed with Shastra University's research works. I saw a 3D printing machine around 8 years ago in MIT. And today I'm proud. In MIT, I saw a 3D printing. In those days, Professor Munish was head of the energy department. He was just relinquished his role as energy minister of Obama administration. He is a good friend of mine. As a student of his Dr. Munish, I went to see him. He advised me and he took me to show a 3D printing machine. I saw first time in around 2016, I saw the 3D printing machine. I saw 3D printing machine, product was a material object. Later on, I see a 3D printing machine in German, in Munich, developing medicines, again a material object. Today in Shastra University, I saw a 3D printing machine preparing by next 3-4 years with using 4D technology. We will be producing real-time kidney and heart replacement. This kind of research you all are doing here. Kindly continue that journey. So emerging technologies is it should be your priority. You have learned something here, but you have to practice that in society. Number 2, India is very fast emerging in one area, that is digital India. By end of this year, India will be rolling out indigenous 5G technology. By end of 23, 6 lakhs villages of India will be connected with optical fiber for internet. That means there is a super highway built to each and every household of India. Around 30 crore households are in India. Out of that, 25 crore to 50 million households will be connected with not only super highways, they will be connected with airports, runways. Now, what kind of thing will be, what kind of personalized aeroplane or Mercedes vehicle will go to their house? I will give you one example. Today, if we calculate the digital payments of the global level, entire world, if we count the digital transaction of the entire world. Out of that entire 100% transaction, 40% is coming from India. That means the common man, the street vendor, the village shopkeeper, the village consumer, all are now paying in the UPI kind of payment architecture. This is the domain area of India. Lot of transparency, lot of efficiency, lot of ease are coming out of that. India is going to leader of that area. You all have vaccinated. After taking vaccine, within few seconds, there is a certificate in your mobile phone. Friends, it is nowhere in the world today, not even in developed countries. India is leader of that area. India is going to leader of the digital world. You have learned a lot of things from this university. Kindly continue to practice that in the society. For emerging technology, for digital, you have to concentrate on research. I have mentioned certain viewpoints of my observation on this university. Research is a continuous thing. Research leads to innovation. Research follow for the new things. So for lifelong, the practice you have developed here as a research student, please continue to carry on that. Friends, unless until a sizable mass of the society create wealth. Today, there is a mindset we will all, after passing out, I am not happy with this idea of placement. I am not happy with this idea of campus placement, personally. I am happy and I am very enthusiastic to see a model. If somebody is giving employment opportunity to at least 5 people through an entrepreneur model. Friends, India needs job creator, not job seeker. Be entrepreneur for lifelong. Take risk. Go to society. Put your education in application and create entrepreneurial model. Please continue with that. What will be the outcome of that? Friend, for the first time, yesterday was Vishwakarma Puja. And it's fortunately nice coincidence. Yesterday was the birthday of our beloved leader, Prime Minister Narendra Modi. On that day, Ministry of Skill Development, the department I am also in charge, we organized the first convocation for ITI students. You all are graduate and postgraduate students. For the first time in India, and Prime Minister came and addressed in the digital platform. On that occasion, I see a girl. I see a woman. It's a middle-aged woman from Maharashtra. She narrated her experience. What was that? She told, during pandemic, my husband lost the job. My family was at dilemma how to go ahead. I went to a skill center of Jana Shikshan Sansthan and I took training of 3 months to stitching jute bags. I started producing jute bags. I'm earning my livings and I'm giving employment to 10 women. Friends, this is the real practice of circular economy. You all have to practice your career, your education, your parents' investment, this prestigious global institutions' contribution to your knowledge system is not for you. It is for society. You have to be innovator. You have to be technology savvy. You have to be entrepreneur. Through that, you will create new models which will be sustainable, which will be climate friendly. Because the industrial evolution 1.0, 2.0, 3.0, even in 4.0, there is a madness in the mask of growth and development. We're destroying the climate. We have to be innovative. I'm happy I saw lot of such kind of model in your labs. Kindly continue to do that. But friends, what do you think? When we took the name in the beginning, when you talk about the architectural capacity of the society, it's not only architect, it's medicine, it's statecraft, it's diplomacy. India at one point in time was a superpower in navigation, the maritime economy. What do you mean by that? That means we have a strong entrepreneurial capacity. Lot of repository are there in our local language, in our folklore, in our old testaments, in all literatures. How to reappropriate all these things in the modern context? Friends, we have to focus on our Indian knowledge system. Thiruvalluvar was not knowing English like Shakespeare. Now our challenge, how to take Thiruvalluvar, the global thought leader, to the entire globe. That is our responsibility. This is the way how we can carry forward the Indian knowledge system. Friends, why we will do all such things? What is the importance of this period? Do you know? Just we have entered the Amrut Kal. By next 25 years, just imagine, because through the internet era, the entire world is a village. We can know each and every happenings of any part of country within few seconds. What is going to happen in next 25 years? Next 25 years is the very important period of entire humanity, entire globe, entire planet. I am confident. I see the confident thought leaders and innovators in front of me. You are going to lead next 25 years in this Amrit Kal. This is the 7th pledge you have to be taken. By all such character, with all this knowledge capacity, we have to carry forward. We have to take the responsibility, the entire globe, and we have to have the solution, and we will lead the globe. India is going to be the Vishwaguru. India is going to be the knowledge superpower through you, friends, through this young talent pools. India has its own advantage. The rightly Prime Minister said, by next 25 years. So I'm taking 5 places. Today I am not mentioning about Pancha Prana announced by Prime Minister from the Red Fort. Think big. Think about decolonization. Think about our roots. Think about our harmony. And take responsibility of society. Friends, let us pledge in this Amrit Kal of next 25 years. We have to pledge to take responsibility of society. This is our preaching. This is our responsibility as the great thinker of this state, the Tamil poet, Saint Thiruvalluvar said, how we can achieve this noble goal. Education is constant and everlasting pursuit of knowledge, and humility and virtue are 2 important aspects of the true knowledge. Friends, with humility and virtue, and education is constant and everlasting pursuit. Today, you have achieved that. As I said in the beginning, you have completed an important phase of your life. In Amrit Kal, we all have to be more responsible. We have to live for our family. We have to live for our community. We have to live for our society. We have to live for entire humanity. This is the nature of Indian society. Friends, let us come together. Let us take place. We have the answer. We will lead. And I'm confident after a few years, when I'll get a chance to meet you again in the different platform, you might be addressing from these states. You might be addressing from the Red Fort. Who knows, the future Prime Minister is sitting somewhere in the back bench. Because like you, some years ago, some decades ago, the great person of this civilization, APJ Abdul Kalam, might have sat somewhere in the back bench. He led the civilization, he led the society. He make proud all of us. I'm confident he will make proud all of us, the entire civilization, entire country. Thank you, friends.
Thank you so much, sir, for having trust in us, and we promise to make you proud. I now request our Chancellor to administer the pledge.
The candidates stand forward. Do you sincerely promise and declare that if admitted in the degree of which you are the candidates and for which you have been recommended, you will, in your daily life and conversation, conduct activities as the members of the institution? Do you promise that to the utmost of your ability and all occasions, you will support and promote the cause of morality and sound learning? Do you promise that you will, as far as in your life, apply and advance the social order and the well-being of your fulfillment? Do you promise that you will faithfully and carefully fulfill the duties of your profession, that you will, on all occasions, maintain the purity and reputation of the profession, and you will never deviate from the dharmic path of the honorable exercise by making your knowledge subservient to unworthy ends? Let the candidates be now presented.
I now request our Vice Chancellor to read out the citation for award of honoris causa dies.
Citation for Professor Krishnaswamy Alladi. Professor Krishnaswamy Alladi is a major international figure in mathematics with extensive contributions to diverse areas of number theory. As a teenager, his mathematical talent was recognized by Paul Erdos, one of the great mathematicians of the 20th century. Professor Alladi's subsequent work with Erdos on the sum of the prime factors of integers is now widely known and cited Alladi duality. Introduced in Alladi's award-winning PhD thesis, is currently being investigated in algebraic number theory as well. In analytical number theory, introduced a new approach to probabilistic number theory using a multiplicative generalization of the sieve method. He developed jointly with the celebrated mathematician Professor Basil Gordon the period of weighted words as well. More recently, he has developed a theory of weighted partition identities, which has been remarkably effective in the study of Schmidt-type theorems. The success of his work not only relies on his brilliant insights, but also on his great ability to explain his ideas and methods clearly and eloquently. Professor Alladi is much more than an outstanding researcher. He is also following the footsteps of his father, the great physicist, Professor Alladi Ramakrishnan, who founded in Chennai the major research institute, Math Science. Professor Alladi Ramakrishnan saw the importance of leadership in service to the scientific world and communicated this virtue to his son. Professor Krishnaswamy Alladi's innovative contributions to the larger mathematics community have been monumental. He is the founder and editor-in-chief of the Ramanujan Journal, which is devoted to all areas of mathematics influenced by Ramanujan. He is founder and editor-in-chief of the book series Development in Mathematics, which publishes research monographs and edited volumes in all areas of mathematics. While managing these major enterprises, he was for 10 years the very successful chairperson of the mathematics department at the University of Florida, USA. In 2011, the American Mathematical Society selected Professor Alladi as an inaugural fellow. Professor Alladi has organized numerous international conferences both in India and America. Of special interest to Shastra is his contributions to the Shastra Ramanujan Prize as the chairman of the awards committee ever since its inception in 2004. The significant contributions of Professor Alladi has a place in the Shastra Ramanujan Award as one of the most prestigious mathematics awards in the world. Shastra is proud to award Professor Krishnaswamy Alladi the degree of Doctor of Science in recognition of his far-reaching and outstanding contributions in the field of mathematics in general and number theory, analytical number theory, sieve methods, probabilistic number theory, Diophantine approximations, partitions, and Q hypergeometric identities in particular. This honoris causa also recognizes his devoted, dedicated, and exemplary leadership in the cause of max education, and above all for his faith in a value-based approach to life. I have the honor to present unto you Professor Krishnaswamy Alladi for the conferment of the degree of Doctor of Sciences, honoris causa, signed by the Vice Chancellor at Tanjavur on this day, 18th September 2022.
May I request Shri Dharmendra Pradhan ji to award the DSc degree to Professor Alladi. May I please request Professor Krishnaswamy Alladi to share his thoughts with us. Please, sir.
Honorable Union Minister for Education, Shri Dharmendra Pradhan, Union Minister for State, Mr. Murugan, esteemed Chancellor of Shastra University, Professor Sethuraman, Vice Chancellor Vaidya Subramaniam, Dean Swaminathan, Professor Chandramouli, the Registrar, Deans of Shastra, faculty, and students, and friends in the audience. I'm both honored and humbled to receive this Doctorate of Science honoris causa from Shastra University, a very unique and eminent academic institution which has accomplished so much in the sphere of education that I especially fostering the legacy of Srinivasa Ramanujan that I admire so much. Since I'm being recognized for accomplishments, I really must acknowledge the role played by peers and academic agencies that was crucial for my achievements, but I'll be quite brief. So I'd like to take this occasion to briefly express my gratitude to certain individuals and institutions. I started doing research on my own in my BSc class at Vivekananda College. Actually, it started at the end of my pre-university. And at that time, my father, the late Professor Alladi Ramakrishnan, who was the director of math science, he wanted to get the opinion of world's experts about the quality of my work. So he sent my work to various people around the world. One person in particular, Professor Paul Erdős, E-R-D-O-S, Paul Erdős, a Hungarian mathematician, one of the greatest mathematicians of the 20th century. He saw something in my work. And when he was in Calcutta to attend a conference, actually the centenary of Mahalanobis, he rerouted his trip from Calcutta to Sydney to visit Madras, mainly to meet me and discuss my research. It's an enormous gesture, and I'm grateful to him. And then he wrote a letter which enabled me to get the Chancellor's Fellowship at UCLA to work under Professor Strauss, who was the last student and assistant of Albert Einstein, but had moved later to number theory. So I owe to both Erdős and Strauss whatever I have done during this 2 decades initially, from the mid-70s to 1980s to the 90s. 1987 was the Ramanujan centennial. It was an eye-opener to all of us. And it was at that time that I decided to shift the focus of my research from analytic number theory to the theory of partitions and Q hypergeometric series, where Ramanujan had made such spectacular contributions. But shifting an area of research is not easy. Luckily, I had tenure by then, so even if I couldn't publish for 3-4 years, it didn't matter. But it was facilitated by one of my former professors, Basil Gordon, who visited the University of Florida, and he and I started collaborating, and that was my initiation really into this area of partitions and Q series. But I wanted to get to the next higher level. Luckily, I was having a sabbatical. That means a year's leave that you earn after 6 years of service. And I went to the Pennsylvania State University to work with Professor George Andrews, one of the greatest, possibly the greatest expert in the area of partitions and the work of Ramanujan. So he has acted as a mentor for me, just as Professor Erdős was a mentor for me in the first part of my career. Now, my father had always advised me that in addition to doing fundamental research, one must do something for the profession and to educate the general public about great things happening in your field of activity. So starting from the Ramanujan Centennial, I started writing articles annually about Ramanujan and relating his work to other mathematicians, first in the Hindu and also in other journals. And this set of articles that I published since 1987 was collectively published as a book, and that was released at Shastra University during the Ramanujan 125 conference that was held in Convocation. Now, the Ramanujan Centennial also inspired me to create what I consider as a permanent memorial for Ramanujan. Centennial occurs once, but I wanted to do something on a permanent basis. So that inspired me to create this Ramanujan journal, now published by Springer, at that time launched by Kluwer, which is devoted to all areas of mathematics influenced by Ramanujan. Now this journal, which started with 4 issues per year of 100 pages per issue, now publishes 12 issues per year of more than 250 pages per issue. This is no credit for me. It's a credit for Ramanujan. His mathematics has had such impact that the inflow of papers justifies this expansion. But for this journal to have become a major journal, I really owe a debt of gratitude to all the mathematicians who have served on the editorial board and who continue to serve on the editorial board. Without their help, this journal could not be run. To top it off, I will say something briefly about the Shastra Ramanujan Award. In 2003, I got a phone call from Dean Swaminathan, who was at that time a student, a graduate student in America, saying that there is going to be a conference in honor of Ramanujan here in connection with Srinivasa Ramanujan's home that was purchased by Shastra and being converted into a national museum. So he invited me to this conference and said, bring about 10 mathematicians and we'll take care of all of you and we'll have to have an international conference. That is how my association with Shastra began in the year 2003. At the end of that conference, the mathematicians and the members of Shastra said that we should organize these conferences annually and that I should be involved in this. That is how I have made it an annual pilgrimage to come to Kumbakonam every year in December and to be here for Ramanujan's birthday, December 22nd. But something remarkable happened in 2004, the very next conference, when generously Shastra invited me to inaugurate that conference. But even more generous was that I was just, as I was walking up to the stage, Professor Sethuraman whispered into my ear and said, "Sir, I would like to set apart $10,000 annually for a good cause in the name of Ramanujan. You please tell us how it is to be used." I was taken aback by this and I said, "Sir, don't you want a committee? Don't you want to have some sort of a discussion of experts to decide how this is to be used?" He said, "No, there will be disagreement. We will never really come to a conclusion. You tell us what is to be done and we'll do it." That was the amount of faith he put in me. So we all know that Indian functions are elaborate. There is a Kuttuvelakku being lit during the conference, speeches given, all that is wonderful, but it allowed me 15 minutes to think about how to use this $10,000. If it was America, I wouldn't have these 15 minutes. So I got the 15 minutes. So at the end, I got up and said, let us create a prize in the name of Ramanujan, an annual $10,000 prize called the Shastra Ramanujan Award. But it must be given to a mathematician very young, not exceeding the age of 32, as a challenge as to how much this person has done in the same lifespan of Ramanujan. And I said, this award will be given to younger mathematicians than the great awards like the Fields Medal. So we will be recognizing these mathematicians at a younger age. The Vice Chancellor endorsed this suggestion, said that the award will be given the very next year, the very first award will be given the next year. And then he turned towards me and said, please be the chair of the Shastra Ramanujan Prize Committee. So that's how, since 2005, I have been the chair, but it's all due to the generosity of Shastra University and the Vice Chancellor. So I owe to them all this. Now, as you know, this prize has become one of the most prestigious and coveted prizes in the world. And the testimony that we are choosing the right people is that the Shastra Prize winners are going on to win prizes with a hallowed tradition, such as the Fields Medal, as mentioned by our Vice Chancellor, Vaidya Subramanian. Finally, I must acknowledge the support given all through by the University of Florida that provided me a conducive atmosphere to conduct my research and generously allowed me leave on my international travels to conferences and also to Shastra University. Not only that, they gave me an opportunity to serve as chair for 10 years when I was able to introduce several new programs, but also it's not just a question of introducing the programs, it came with the support of the university. So I have to be thankful to the university. With regard to my own work in number theory, I have to thank two of my Florida colleagues, Professors Frank Garvin and Alexander Berkovich. Professor Garvin has also organized conferences with me, and Professor Berkovich has been a major research collaborator. My special thanks to Mathura, who is here, my wife, my mother, and my family, because much of what I did involved international travel. So I was out of my house for great lengths of time. And of course, if my father were alive today, he would be so happy because he was my strongest academic supporter. I conclude by thanking the management. Yeah, well, my grandfather was Saraladi Krishnaswamy Iyer, who was on the drafting committee of the Indian Constitution. Anyway, I conclude by thanking the management, the faculty, the staff, and students of Shastra for this honorous conduct. Thank you.
Thank you so much, sir, for being an inspiration. And we are sure that your predecessors and successors are immensely proud of you. May I now request our Vice Chancellor once again to read out the citation for award of honoris causa D.Litt.
Saraswata Sudakaraha Vachaspatihi Padmashri Ityadibihi Anekabihi Vistavilibhi Bhushitaha Acharya Varyaha Srimantaha Chamu Krishna Shastri Varyaha Karnatakasya Mangalore Nagare Samipe Vidyamane Kedalagrame Janiprapya Tirupatasthe Rashtriya Samskrita Vishwavidyalaya Samskrita Aditavantaha Etarhi Acharyaha Bharata Sarkarasya शिक्षा मन्त्रालयाधीनायाः भारतीय भाषा प्रचार समिते अध्यक्षत्वं, भारत सर्कारस्य शिक्षा मन्त्रालयाधीनायाः भारतीय ज्ञान परम्परा विभागस्य सदस्यता, संस्कृत संवर्धन प्रतिष्ठानम् इति प्रमुख संस्कृत संस्थानस्य न्यासीय सचिवत्वम् इत्यादीनि नैकानि प्रभावात्मकानि पदानि समलङ्कुर्वन्ति। संस्कृत भाषा सामान्य जनानां भाषा भवेत्। भारतीय ज्ञान परम्परायाः पुनर्जीवनं भवेत् इत्यादि महत उद्देशपूर्वकम् आभारतं तथा अमेरिका, कनाडा, इंग्लैंड, ऑस्ट्रेलिया इति आविश्वतं प्रसृतस्य संस्कृत भारती इति प्रमुख संविधानस्य संस्थापक सदस्याः भवन्ति एता आचार्याः। अपि च 1981 तमे संवत्सरे समारब्धस्य संस्कृतेन संस्कृत शिक्षणम् इति आन्दोलनस्य विद्यायकाः अति एत भवन्ति। संस्कृत भाषा लोकप्रिय भाषा भवेत् इति विषये एतेषां व्यहुरचन नैपुण्यं कार्यक्रमोपस्थापनं च सर्वतः अप्रतिरूपं विद्यते। वैश्विकः संस्कृत स्वयं सेवकानां संघः एभिः मान्यवरैः प्रतिष्ठापतिः येन विदेशेभ्यः भारतस्य प्रतिमा विस्तारिता भवति। तत्र भवद्भिः आचार्यः सरल संभाषण पद्धितः इति काचन नव शिक्षण पद्धतिः संस्कृताय प्रकल्पिता। तद्वारा उपसहस्रं शिक्षकाः प्रशिक्षिताः भवन्ति। 1983 तमे संवत्सरे भारतीय संसत् सदस्येभ्यः संभाषणां संस्कृत वर्गान् निरवक्षित। एभिः आचार्य प्रवरैः 14 पुस्तकानि, शताधिकानि समसामयिक विषयात्मकानि पत्राणि च विरचितानि भवन्ति। एतैः 10 भारतीय भाषासु संस्कृत पत्राचार पाठ्यक्रमः USA, कनाडा देशेषु SAFL संस्कृत एस् फॉरेन लैंग्वेज इति पाठ्यक्रमश्च उपस्यतापितः। समसामयिक विशेषयेषु पुस्तक प्रकाशनाय सरस्वती सेवा योजना इति परिकल्पना अपि अमीभिः समारब्धा। 1984 तमे संवत्सरे काशी पंडित परिषदा शास्त्रीवर्याः सारस्वत सुधाकरः इति पुरस्कृताः। 2017 तमे संवत्सरे भारतीय सर्वकारेण पद्मश्री इति विश्रेदन भूषिताः। 2019 समे संवत्सरे वाराणसीस्थेन संपूर्णानंद संस्कृत विश्वविद्यालयेन वाचस्पति इति सम्मानार्थेन विश्रदेन च पुरस्कृताः भवन्ति। अयि भो मान्याः भवतां संस्कृत भारतीय संस्कृति सेवा निर्वहन पटुतां भारतीय भाषा विकसन दुरंतरां च समभिलक्षय प्रशंसनीयात्मक गभीर भावनया संस्कृत क्षेत्रे समुत्कृष्ट सेवायै शास्त्रा विश्वविद्यालय सम्मानं रूपेण तत्र भवन्तः श्री चामुकृष्ण शास्त्रीवर्याः विद्यावाचस्पति डॉक्टर ऑफ लेटर्स ऑनरिस कॉसा इति उपाधिना संभायन्ते इति वयम् अमन्दमानन्दं गौरवभावश्च अनुभवामः। Professor S. Vaidya Subramaniam signed on 18/9/2022 at Tanjavur.
I request Shri Dharmendra Pradhan ji to award the D.Litt degree. I request Shri Chamukrishna Shastri ji to share his thoughts with us, please.
आदरणीय श्री धर्मेंद्र प्रधान महोदय, मान्यवर श्री सेतुरामन महोदय, मान्यवर वैद्यनाथ महोदय, अल्लाडी कृष्णस्वामी महोदय, मान्य मुरुगन महोदय, सभायाम् उपस्थिताः प्राध्यापकाः, छात्राः, अहं कृतज्ञः अस्मि, विनीतः अस्मि एतेन उपाधिदानेन। चमू कृष्णशास्त्री एकः निमित्तमात्रं जनः। संस्कृत प्रचार कार्ये, भारतीय ज्ञान परंपरा उत्थान कार्ये चमू कृष्णशास्त्री एकम उपकरणं समाज सेवार्थं, भारत सेवां कर्तुं, ज्ञान सेवां कर्तुं अवसरः प्राप्तः। व्यक्तिः देहः नश्वरः, देशः शाश्वतः। नश्वरः देहः यदा शाश्वताय देशाय समर्पितः भवति तदा देहः अपि सार्थकः भवति। मम संस्कृत भविष्यं मम हस्ते अस्ति, मम भविष्यं संस्कृत हस्ते अस्ति इति स्वस्मै स्वल्पं समाजाय सर्वस्वम् इति ज्येष्ठानां शिक्षणेन निमित्तमात्रभूतः कृष्णशास्त्री संस्कृत सेवां कृतवान्। अतः अद्य शास्त्र विश्वविद्यालयेन यत् डीलिट विद्या वाचस्पति इति उपाधिः प्रदत्ता तत् चमू कृष्णशास्त्री कृते नास्ति। संस्कृताय संस्कृत परंपरार्थं संस्कृत ज्ञान परंपरा निमित्त दान सम्मानम् इति अहं चिन्तयामि। तदर्थं समग्र संस्कृत लोक परतः शास्त्र विश्वविद्यालयस्य अहं धन्यवादं समर्पयामि। केवलम् अंशद्वयं वदामि। शास्त्र विश्वविद्यालयः भारते केवलं न विश्वे, संपूर्ण विश्वे अपूर्वः। अत्र केवलम् आधुनिक विद्या शिक्षणं न, शास्त्र विश्वविद्यालये केवलम् आधुनिक शिक्षणं न, प्राचीन भारतीय ज्ञान परंपरा शिक्षणम् अपि अस्ति। ऐच्छिक विषय रूपेण 16 भारतीय विद्याः अत्र ऐच्छिक रूपेण अस्ति। NEP 2020 मध्ये यत् IKS इंडियन नॉलेज सिस्टम इंटेग्रेशन करणीयम् इति वदति किल, तदत्र ऑलरेडी इंटेग्रेटेड अस्ति शास्त्र विश्वविद्यालये। अतः शास्त्र विश्वविद्यालयः शास्त्र इति नाम अस्ति किल, सार्थकं नाम इति एकः विषयः। द्वितीयः विषयः यत् अहम् अद्य पर्यन्तं संस्कृत प्रचार कार्यं कृतवान्। वर्तमानकाले मान्य धर्मेंद्र प्रधान महोदयस्य भारतीय भाषा प्रेम कारणतः एक भारतीय भाषा समितिः इति रचिता। तत् भारतीय भाषा समिति द्वारा एकः कार्यक्रमः, बहु कार्यक्रमाः सन्ति, एकः कार्यक्रमः हायर एजुकेशन अपि सर्व भारतीय भाषा माध्यमेन भवेत् तदर्थं टेक्स्ट बुक अपि मेटीरियल स्टडी मेटीरियल रेफरेंस बुक्स अपि भारतीय भाषा माध्यमेन भवेत् तदर्थं मान्य वाइस चांसलर महोदयः वैद्य सुब्रह्मण्यम महोदयः स्वागत भाषणे घोषणां कृतवान् 75 books of higher education textbooks in Tamil language इति शास्त्र यूनिवर्सिटी करोति संपूर्ण भारतस्य सर्व विश्वविद्यालयानां कृते शास्त्र यूनिवर्सिटी आदर्शम् उपस्थापयति प्रथम कार्यक्रमः एक विश्वविद्यालयः 75 हायर एजुकेशन टेक्स्ट बुक्स इन तमिल लैंग्वेज प्रकाशनं करोति इति पुनः अभिनंदनं करोमि पुनः धन्यवादं समर्पयामि नमो नमः
Dhanyavad, Shri Chamu Krishna Shastri Mahoday. And you teach us how to be humble despite your immense stalwartness. May I now request Professor R. Sethuraman, Chancellor Sir, to present the candidates. May I now request the deans of the respective schools to present the candidates, starting with Dean Research.
Mr. Orator, I present unto you the following candidates in Doctor of Philosophy who have been certified after examination duly qualified to receive the degree. Amritakar, Adityan Pond, Rajalakshmi, D. Sandhya Carmel, Kampara Rupakishore, Simran Simsandar, Hariharan, Valarmati, Mohammad Yam, S. Pradeepa, P. Karthik, Sivaraman R, Sankaralingam L, Revati K, M. Mubarak Ali, B. Aravind, S. Muhammad Gauss, J. Raja Mohan, N. Sivaramakrishnan, Muthuminakshi B, Nandu V. Namburdri, S. Ramesh, Sundaravadi V, P. Amsayari, Muthukumaran G, Arati Krishna, Veena Narayanan, Manoj Kumar M, Pedavarapu Srihari, N. Senthil Selvan, Pavitra S, R.C. Rohit, Pragadish S.A., N. Mohan Raj, P.S. Sweta, Ashik Bani S, Tirupati K, Jaykumar C, Priyanka S, K. Pondrasu, A. Kamalachelvan, Sujitra Balasubramanian, S. Prem, R. Santi, S. Nadarajan, R. Sandhya Devi, M. K. Charan Prabhu, B. Vijay Bhaskar, B. Gayatri, Soumya R, Sagana V, Srija Kumari Danya, Manikandan Chinnaswamy, and Manjula K. Thank you.
Orator, I present unto you the following candidates in School of Chemical and Biotechnology who have been certified after examination to be duly qualified to receive the degree. Nikita, Mahalakshmi S, Srimati U, Aishwarya R, Aishwarya VG, Kirta Shalini P, Arjun SV, Purnima B, Priyadarshini TS, Kalayarasi, Niranjan Srinivasan, Priyadarshini, Shashank R, Aishwarya V, Vijay Lakshmi AB, Yatindra Pramanan TMN, Parvati V, Trilochana M, Sutivani S, Sana Samreen Syed, Teja Shri, Vignesh LR. Thank you, sir.
I now request the Dean, School of Civil Engineering.
Mr. Orator, I presented you the following candidates of School of Civil Engineering who have been certified after examination to be duly qualified to receive the degree. Philip Raj S. Anita Kumari P. Mahalakshmi S. Anuvala Shetty Adi Venkata Lakshmi Sruthi. Katiga Reddy Hema Sruthi.
I call upon Dean, School of Electrical and Electronics Engineering.
Mr. Orator, I present unto you the following candidates in School of Electrical and Electronics Engineering.
Our apologies. I request Dean, School of Computing.
Have been certified after examination to be duly qualified to receive the degree. Sharmati R. Vignesh N. Srikari Y. Varsha KR. Nishkala G. Ashwath S. Shubha B. Aravind A. Nitish Balaji KK. Aruna Devi GG. Abhimina A. Adiraj H. Yalavarti Supriya. Shakti Dharan S. Bellamkonda Chandrasekhar. Ande Sai Lagari. Srinivas B. Panda Sai Shankara Keshawanath. Muppat Chinmay Ram Naga Sai Prasad. Devi Reddy Brinda. Valliyappan SM. Ananda Lakshmi R. Abhishek Sriram G. Anki Reddy Palli Nagasinduri. Beti Naga Bhargavi. Chris Rohan M. Jinka Sai Maunika. Vempati Krishna Sashank, Bogula Sainega Reddy, Vishwanath B, Bimini Sai Shri, Yedlapalli Pramod, Prakada Bharat Raj, Swarna Sakiti Y, Anchana M, Bharanika G, Kavya V, Kamalesh BS, Madhura S, Shri Vidya V, Gayatri S, Ritika A, and Jayaprada M. Thank you, sir.
May I call upon stage Dean, School of Electrical and Electronics Engineering.
Mr. Orator, I present unto you the following candidates in School of Electrical and Electronics Engineering. Vishal Kashyap, yes. Sridharan Priyadarshan, Nilani S, Rakul Venkatesan, Geetanjali S, Guriti Yajeshwani, Meghanathan Alish, Sabarish S, Mukta Chaudhary, Monica J, Pokkala Priyadarshini, Bonagiri Veera Venkata Surya Lakshmi, Thiruvaru Sai Chandra, Surya Hari Teja, Priyanka J, Mohana Chai Chandra, Akila V, Anirari Banuja, Ilakya AS, Sahamuri Lokesh, Kota Deepika, Sesa Shai Kashyap, Usala Karthik, Kaushik L, Bellamgonda Manoj Sai, Tumala Ram Mohan Reddy, Adappa Venkata Naga Venkata Surya Sai, Pavitra B, Kiran Teja Reddy PS. Thank you.
I call upon Dean, School of Mechanical Engineering.
Mr. Orator, I present unto you the following candidates in School of Mechanical Engineering. Pranav DS, Sai Manikanta, Harish, Krishnan, Aditya Venkateshwar, Raghunath, Ashwin Kumar, Karthik M, Meena, Pavan Kumar, Venkat Srinivas, and Tyagarajan Krishna Kumar.
I now request Dean, School of Science, Arts, Science, Humanities and Education.
Mr. Orator, I present unto you the following candidates in the School of Arts, Sciences, Humanities and Education. Reshma A, Saundarya G, Niraimati CP, Bhumika Priyadarshini, Shri Vaishnavi, Shreya Muthukumar, Siddharth, Amrita Lakshmi, Arunodayam T, Kirtika S, Sindhuja R, Sangeeta B, Vignesh Kumar VR, Deepa B, Abhirami S, Saranya P, Ilakya R, Payani Bharati K, Arun Kumar G, Shivani V, Gurudarshini V, Sindhuja S, Abhirami P, Sandhya B, Vidyashri S, Sivashankari R, Kartika M, Darshan CS, Shweta S, Nivedita R, Subhashini R, Shakti Soumya J, Ranjana AV, Bhuvaneshwari V, Sri Ranjani R, Saranya R, Logeshwari M, Selvapriya A, Kausalya P, Veeramani R, Varsha Kumari C, Brinda D, Abhinaya R, Venkatesh M, Varshini YS, Deenachanya V, Dhanavidya R, Darshini M, Anusha K, Harshini G, Divya Shri M, Kanimori K, Aarti S, Sandhya V, Ishwari B, Sai Sakti Sri Devi K, Monica K, Harini M, Srimati S, Gayatri G, Shweta E, Manisha S, Sharat Kumar R, Jayadurga S, Vinita S, Ram Nityashri J, Shalini Maria Francis, Muthayarini M, Pongod Harita, Vinita V, Akshaya KP, Daksha Vishnu S, and Teruvai Muni Charusila. Thank you.
I call upon Dean, School of Law.
Mr. Orator, I present unto you the following candidates in School of Law. Ashika V, Haripriya V, Nivedita Narayanan, Suji P, Sharada Darshini C, Trisha Shamirika, Varsha N, Amritesh S, Sanjay Krishnan SS, Abhirami AB, Jayaprada B, Harini G, Sri Vidya Iyer G, Sri Vidya Iyer G, Aparna S,
I now call upon Dean, School of Management.
Mr. Orator, I present unto you the following candidates in School of Management. MBA, Abhijit D, Bhavatarini S, Sophia V, Anupriya M, Sara M, Ramya J, Mohan Raj K. Bhavanagoram AC. Sri Vaishnav R. and Sai Vignesh V. And from BBA, R. Durga, G. Akila, M. Darshini, R. Vignesh Murthy, and Preeta Murali. Thank you.
I now request our Chancellor to confer the degrees.
By virtue of the authority vested on me as the Chancellor of the Shanmuha Arts, Science, Technology and Research Academy, Shastra, I admit you to the degree for which you have been declared qualified by the institution, and token thereof you have been permitted to wear the diploma, and authorize you to have, on token thereof you have been presented the diploma, and I authorize you to wear the robes ordained at the insignia of your degree.
Congratulations, all of you. I now request Dr. S. Swaminathan, Dean Planning and Development, to talk us through the presentation of special awards.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. The Founder Chancellor's Medal for the Best Doctoral Thesis in Engineering is awarded to V. Sahana for her thesis titled Functional Metal Oxide Nano Interfaces in the Management of Urinary Tract Infections from Diagnosis to Therapy, under the mentorship of Professor S. Adeline Princey, School of Chemical and Biotechnology. Request both of you to please stand. She has published 5 first author internationally peer-reviewed publications, 4 book chapters, and 9 co-authored publications with a cumulative impact factor of 67.849. She has also filed a patent for her PhD work in collaboration with Indus Biotech Private Limited. She was chosen to be the Indian scholar in the highly competitive international collaborative project supported by SPARC, Ministry of Education, Government of India, where Shastra, deemed to be university, has established a collaborative research with the University of Hong Kong. She is also part of the entrepreneurial team, Startup AI, along with her PhD supervisor, and has incubated at the Shastra's Incubation Center, Ableista. She will be joining as a PDF at the National Center for Biological Sciences, Bangalore. And she receives a certificate and a cash prize of Rs 25,000 for the Best Founder Chancellor's Medal for the thesis in engineering. Founder Chancellor's Medal for the Best Doctoral Thesis in Sciences is awarded to Rohit for his thesis titled Transition Metal Oxide Hydroxide Based Layered Nanostructures for Hybrid Supercapacitors. This work has resulted in 4 first author publications, 3 other publications with a cumulative impact factor of 38.578, and also resulted in a patent titled Novel Green Synthesis of Nickel Oxide Nanosheets for Supercapacitor Applications. This work has been carried in mentorship with Dr. Ajay Dagale from the School of Electrical and Electronics Engineering, and he is currently a research associate at the IIT Hyderabad. He received the certificate and a cash prize of 25,000. The Lord Selvamuttakumar Award is awarded to Akim Sethi Mohana Sai Chandra for securing the overall first rank amongst the graduating BTech batch of 2022. He received the certificate and a cash prize of 10,000. The Silver Jubilee graduating batch of Shastra has awarded the Silver Jubilee Batch Award for the from the batch of 1989 to the best girl student from the graduating batch of 2022. And this year, the award is presented to Yelavarthi Supriya for being adjudged the best outgoing girl student among the graduating batch of BTech 2022. She received the certificate and a cash prize of rupees 10,000. Thank you.
I request Dr. S. Swaminathan once again for proposing the vote of thanks.
Respected dignitaries on the dais, graduates and their proud parents, faculty colleagues, and all gathered over here, a very good afternoon. And it's such a pleasure to propose the vote of thanks in this auditorium that is filled with intensity of emotions. Let me begin with thanking the Chancellor for his untiring efforts and the vision for the growth of Shastra. We are also thankful to the Convocation orator, the Honorable Minister of Education, Skill Development and Entrepreneurship, for his insightful messages today. I'm sure, sir, that your thoughts that you shared on responsibility to society, clarity on NEP, importance of local language, research and innovation, sustainability, digital India, entrepreneurship will remain etched in all our hearts to contribute to the development of this nation. On behalf of Shastra, I would like to reinforce our commitment to further enhancing our curriculum and teaching methodologies, research profile and impact, and ensuring that our research and innovation are not only aligned to the needs, but are also useful to the society. Sir, you may always count Shastra, just as the school helped in building the Ramar Setu, in advancing the national mission, and also towards contributing towards the Atmanirbhar Bharat. Your kind words of appreciation to our work that we do here, I'm sure all my colleagues will agree with me that it has been an energy booster for all of us. Thank you very much, sir. I would like to express our gratitude and sincere thanks to the Honorable Minister of Fisheries, Animal Husbandry and Dairy, and the Minister for Information and Broadcasting for his gracious presence today. Thank you, sir. Today, Shastra takes pride in honoring the two Krishnas, Professor Krishna Alladi and Sri Chamu Krishna Sastri, who are doyens in their respective fields for their contributions to the society. We thank you for the services you have rendered and you continue to render. Thank you very much, sir. My word of thanks to the Vice Chancellor for championing all the activities in the campus and for his involvement and determination to see them succeed. I, on behalf of the entire Shastra fraternity, wish to congratulate the graduating batch of 2022 who are armed with knowledge and skills, as mentioned by the Honorable Minister. No graduation ceremony is complete without referring to COVID for the kind of turbulence it has created across all sectors. And all of us have gone through a roller coaster ride filled with uncertainties. As we move away from quarantines, social distancing, masked classes, countless Google Classroom links, hybrid exams, and so on, and as we march ahead to the next phase of your life, kindly continue to care about yourself, your family, your friends, and our country and the world so that you make a difference in someone's life. Congratulations and good luck to all the graduating batch. And I'm also thank all the parents for their continued support and faith in us. My heartfelt thanks to all the special guests, my faculty colleagues, staff, who have been very co-active passengers in the Shastra's journey. Thanks are due to the members of the media, IT infrastructure, civil, electrical maintenance teams, and all those who have been responsible for the successful conduct of this event. Thank you, Jai Hind.
Thank you, sir. I now request our Chancellor to dissolve the convocation. May I request all of you to kindly rise for the national anthem.
Janagana mana adhinayaka jaya he Bharat bhagya vidata Punjab Sindh Gujarat Maratha Dravida Utkala Vanga Vindhya Himachala Yamuna Ganga Uchchala Jalati Taranga Tava Shubha Name Jahe तव शुभ आशीष माहे गाहे तव श्रेय गाथा जनगण मंगलदायक जय हे भारत भाग्य विधाता जय हे जय हे जय हे जय 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 हे